Okay, so once we talked about the campaign structure, I want to talk about a specific point that, some consider this an advanced strategy. For me, it's something that every seller should know, at least be aware of, because I see a lot of sellers that are not using this and doesn't really understand what is happening because they're not using it, and it makes their life very, very difficult when it comes to PPC. So let's take a scenario, a regular scenario from your campaigns. Let's say that we are selling a garlic press, okay? Don't sell it, it's not a good product, but let's say we do. So we are targeting the keyword garlic press in our campaigns, and let's say we target both our exact campaign, our phrase, and our broad campaign, and we don't use any negative targeting. We just put garlic press in each one of them. Our keyword bid is currently $1.5. And our target echoes is 30%. And let's look at an example for the results that we can get. So as you know, and those are examples from the phrase campaign. It could either be from the broad, but let's say this is from the phrase. So as you know, both in phrase and broad campaigns, each keyword can generate impressions and clicks for many, many, many search terms. Okay, it depends on what people are actually looking for. So let's say that for the keyword garlic press in our phrase campaign, we got results for 2 search terms. One is black garlic press and one is garlic press. And here are the results. So the CPC we currently don't know. We know that we spent $100 overall for each one of those search terms. We know that we sold in $500 worth of sales for the black garlic press, while in no sales at all for the garlic press search term at all. And based on those results, our echoes for black garlic press is 20% and 0, of course, for garlic press. So the overall performance of the keyword garlic press in our phrase campaign is $200 spent, $500 sales, and 40% echoes. So my question to you is, in this situation, what would you do now that you come to optimize? Feel free to write in the chat.
I think that we might, there are so many different approaches and things that can be done here. I mean, but I see your point here.
Okay.
Actually, interesting to what people would consider doing in such a case.
So
typically you'd put something, you'd say maybe, garlic press is just not performing. Why don't I put it in negative?
Yeah. So, common sense will be either to negative the keyword garlic press or either to lower the bid. So in a lot of cases, negative garlic press will be the right choice. But I want you to take into account that sometimes we cannot do it or we don't want to do it. One example will be if we have a very low amount of clicks, like only 2 or 3 clicks, and usually you want to give every search term enough chance to make sure it's converting well. The other reason is that sometimes we have keywords or search terms that we just don't want a negative. Garlic press is the main keyword for this product, and by negativing it, we might imply to Amazon that this keyword is not relevant, and this might affect our organic ranking and PPC traffic as well. So I want you to consider that not every time we can negative, all right? So for this example, let's say that we want to lower the bid. Let's say, okay, my target echoes is 30% and my echoes is 40%. I want to decrease the bid. So I want to present to you with 2 different scenarios of doing so. Lowering the bid, scenario 1. So let's say in this scenario that our CPC for each keyword, the black garlic press CPC was $0.5, and our CPC for garlic press was $1. And our new keyword bid is now 0.8. So let's see what actually happened from this action we take. So the black garlic press, we reduce the bid from 1.5 to 0.8, but the CPC remained the same because it was below 0.8. So it remained $0.5. Because the CPC remained the same, the spend remained the same. It's still $100. The sales remained the same. And of course, the echoes is the same echoes because it's the same search term. However, for the garlic press, our previous CPC was $1. And now the new keyword bid is 0.8. So our new CPC will be somewhere around this area, let's say 0.79. Because we reduced the CPC, we get less traffic and we pay less. So instead of spending $100, we spend now only $30. The sales are still zero because this search term is not converting. So what's our total data for this scenario? Now we spent less money. We spent only $130 and we made the same amount of sales, right? 500. So the ECOS now has been reduced from 40% to 26%. This is great, right? ECOS is down. So where's the problem? So now I want to show you the opposite scenario, which is, again, very much possible. So now let's assume that the CPC was the opposite. So the black garlic press now, the CPC was $1, and the garlic press CPC was $0.5. And again, we are doing exactly the same. We are lowering the bid from 1.5 to 0.8. So let's see what happens now. So the black garlic press that was originally had a CPC of $1, now it will have a CPC of around 0.79 because we reduced the bid. So again, instead of $100 spent, we will probably spend something around $30, and the sales will also reduce. Now our ECOS is the same. For the same search term, we keep the 20% ECOS, but now for $30 spent, we only make $150 sales, okay? However, for the garlic press, nothing happened. We still pay the same CPC, which is $0.5, and we still don't make any sales because this search term is not good for us. We are not converting for him. And now when we look at the overall data, we see that we spent, again, $130 in spend, but our sales decreased from $500 to $150. And look what happened to our ECOS. By reducing the bid from 1.5 to 0.8, we increased our ECOS to 86%. Okay, so now I want you to imagine what happens if a keyword doesn't generate only 2 search terms, but generate hundreds or even thousands of different search terms. It's literally impossible to know what will happen when you increase or decrease the bid. Okay, I just want to make sure that this point is clear, the problematic of managing bids in phrase and broad the way that I just displayed. So if this is not clear, just let me know. And if not, on that we can continue. Okay, so what's the solution? The solution for this scenario is a thing called search term isolation, right? The main idea here is that we want to keep each search term to appear only in one match type, only in exact, phrase, or broad. We cannot have a situation where a search term appears in multiple match type because then we get the same scenario and problem that I just displayed. So how do we implement, how do we create this type of scenario? So this is a very simple 3-step implementation. Step 1 is, as I said in the beginning, every new keyword that you want to target, it doesn't matter if you find it in an external tool like Merchant Words or Helium 10 or whatever, or if it's a search term that you find in your search term report and you want to bid on it as a keyword. Every new keyword you want to bid on, you add it in all 3 match types, exact, phrase, and broad. Step 2 will be to add this keyword as negative exact, okay, in the phrase campaign, okay? And step 3 will be to add the same keyword as negative phrase in the broad campaign. So Amazon allows us to add 2 types of negative, if you're not familiar with this, negative exact and negative phrase. Negative exact, very, very short, is just to negative the exact search term that we put in here. And negative phrase is to negative everything that includes the search term inside of it, okay? So what will actually happen when we use this method, when we negative exact the phrase campaign and we negative phrase in the broad campaign, our keywords. So let's take again the garlic press example. Let's say we put it in the exact phrase broad, but we also use the negative. So what are the type of results that we can expect to see in each one of the match types? So in the exact, we will see search term like garlic press, the garlic press, garlic presses, because Amazon allows just, like singular or plural and all those little additions in the beginning, but only those keywords. In phrase, we will not get garlic press because we put this keyword as negative exact. We will get all the phrases such as white garlic press, black garlic press for kitchen, every phrase that includes garlic press in it will appear under the phrase campaign. And the broad campaign, which we have the garlic press as negative phrase in it, will not include garlic press, will not include all the phrases, will not include white garlic press, will not include black garlic press for kitchen, and so on. It will only include phrases which has the two words garlic and press, not one after the other. So it can be vice versa, press garlic. It could be garlic for press. It could be black press garlic for kitchen. Every phrase that doesn't have garlic press right one after the other can appear under the broad. So we literally created a situation where every new search term that we are targeting can appear either in the exact, in the phrase, in the broad. So what can I learn from this? What is the actual implications? So the first main implications that I want you to take from this is that while you're using this method, exact campaign is for sales. This is where we actually target our keywords that we want to sell from. The phrase and broad are only for research. I'm not expecting to get sales in a good ecos over there for a long time. Once I get a new 1 or 2 or 3 sales in the phrase or broad campaign, I will take this keyword, I will put it in all the campaigns, and I will use the negative as I mentioned, okay? So for that reason, I only do bid management in the exact campaign. So again, and I want to emphasize this point. Let's say that you see a keyword in the broad campaign, and this keyword has an ecos of 70 or 80% and a lot of sales. It will make no sense to reduce the bid, because this keyword can be consisted, can be made out of a lot of different search terms. Some of them might be very, very good search terms, like very highly profitable search terms, and others might be very, very bad. While you reduce the keyword bid, you affect all the search terms together. So it's always important to do the bid management while using this method only in exact, and analyze phrase and broad only as research campaigns, all right? And again, for phrase and broad, like there was a comment before, instead of lowering the bid, use negative exact. So if you do find search terms that providing a lot of traffic but very, very poor results, don't be afraid to negative them, okay? We don't want to allow Amazon to send bad traffic to our listing. We want to make sure that we focus our product to get the most highly relevant, highly converting search term. And we do that by structuring our campaigns correctly, managing our bids correctly, and managing our search term by doing the search term isolation correctly. I hope this point is clear. On if there are any questions. Then...
No, I think that's, I think that makes perfect sense. I mean, this is what we kind of like do in our solution. It's kind of like search term harvesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you identify. I just want to ask you about around that. So, some recommendations and some practices come and say, I don't want to put it in negative exact, even if it's even if it's really performing bad.
Yeah.
Some approaches say, move it still, whenever you have an engagement, move it to exact, add it to negative exact, move it to exact, but reduce your bid, because maybe at $1.50 cost per bid, I might be losing. But if I put it, let's say for 10 or 20 cents, maybe in the future, if the bids go down, it's worth my while to get, a click for 20 cents, and that still would keep me within the range that I'd want. So what's your thought around that?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. For me, again, in my own brand, when I see a search term that it's under phrase or broad and has like, I don't know, 10 or 20 clicks without any sale, I mean, I put it in negative. I don't fear this too much, because again, I don't want to fight with bad data. Only in a very, very rare exception, when I know this keyword must convert well, and maybe I did some change in my listing or reviews or something, I want to give it a chance. But even if I want to give it a chance, I would do what you just said. I would put it in exact and also phrase and broad, but put the negative. So the phrase and broad can continue in research, and in exact, I can manage the bids only for this specific keyword.
Right.
And I can test it in higher bids, in lower bids, and then I can make my own decision. If testing this search term in phrase or broad will just waste money, either waste money or kill other potentially good search terms. So for me, as soon as I found new search terms and I want to make a decision, I want to make a decision either to negative them or to test them. So I know exactly what to do based on the data.
Is there any point putting negative exact in a broad campaign?
Yeah, of course. So
methodology?
of course. So let's say again that you sell garlic press, okay? And let's say that in the broad campaign, you got 50 clicks for a search term that calls, I don't know, pink garlic press for women, whatever, okay? And 0 sales. So I know for a fact that this specific search term, when people are searching for pink garlic press for women, they're not buying my products, okay? They're clicking on my product. I don't know why. They're clicking, they're losing me money, and they're not buying it. So I want to put it in negative exact, yeah? And I want to put it in negative exact in all my campaigns. I don't want people writing this search term and clicking on my product. So I wouldn't put this in negative phrase because maybe there is even a longer keyword, maybe
that might be converting well.
Yeah. So again, I never want to shut down in advance things that I didn't test. Of course, if you suddenly have unrelevant search terms like pizza slicer and you're selling garlic press appearing on your campaign, then I would put the word pizza as negative phrase. Yeah, because I know for a fact that no one will buy my product if they're searching for pizza slicer. But as long as it's relevant to our product and there is a chance that people will buy, I always prefer to wait for the data and take decision based on what I see.